Let's again create a report, but this time, unlike where we use the single table, we are going to use two tables. Go to the Create tab, we'll click on Report Wizard, and now we'll select the tables that we want. I'm going to use the customers and the contracts. So the procedure is absolutely similar to when we created queries and forms. So nothing new over here. The customers table is selected. What I want is the customer ID. I want their city and I want their phone details. This should be enough for the report that I want. I'll select the contracts table now, and over here I want the order ID, I want the sales date, and let's say I want the contracts amount as well as the product ID. This looks fine. I want this information to be available in the printable format that I have, a report basically, which I want to discuss with the management, let's say. So I click on next once I have selected the fields. How do you want to view your data? By customers. That would be fine. Do you want any grouping levels? Next. Do you want to sort up any of your fields? Then you can do that as well. We also have summary options, as in these are basically a kind of a calculated field that we saw. Now if you want to calculate any of the amounts, we have a column which we selected in the contracts table which gives us the contracts amount. At the end of it, if you want to summarize the entire contracts amount, you can do that. We have various options. You can do a sum, average, minimum and maximum contracts amount. We'll sum it up. So this is how the summary options can be used. Once you have selected that, we'll click on OK. Next, what we need to do, click on next, and it will ask us what layout we want for your report. We'll keep it stepped only and orientation to be portrait, and adjust the field width so all the fields fit in a page. Yes, we want that. Next, what name do you want to give? We'll write customers contract report. You want to preview the report? Yes, we'll keep it default and click on finish. As soon as you do that, you will see that the report is there in front of you, but you would find that there are a lot of information which is not very much up to date. It looks very haphazard. What we can do is we'll now make certain improvements to this so that it looks better. The portrait view is fine. Let's now explore the layout view or the design, and also the design view of creating reports. So let's open this up in the layout view, and this was a report, right? We need to close this and open this in the layout view. Now you'll be able to see that we will now be able to make changes to this. So if you want to drag or drop stuff, what you need to do is, let's say this phone, we can take it towards the left, so this overlapping fields over here will be clearly visible. So you can shift this, but we'll also select the phone numbers using the control on your keyboard. You just need to click on this and you can drag it, or you can use the left arrow on your keyboard, but even if you drag that, it should be fine. So you'll find that the phone is now towards the left. The city, we'll adjust it a bit towards the right. Similarly, order ID, let's shift it towards the left. Okay, this looks fine. What you see over here is basically the summary of each customer, correct? Okay, so there's sales and there is contracts amount. We'll keep the contracts amount. Okay, since it is overlapping, there's some problem. We just select the sales date and move this first, then we will move the contracts amount. Okay, we can move this still towards the right. Okay, this looks much better now. This is basically the product ID. Yes, this is the product ID. We just need to drag so that the label is clearly visible. and let's shift this sum more towards the left and drag this as well. Okay, this looks much better than it was before, right? Okay, much better, right? Now let's view this in the report view. Okay, this is much better now. We have the customer ID in place, the city, phone, order ID, sales date, contracts amount, product ID, and this is basically the summary of customer ID 113. This is the contract's total amount. If there's any customer with 2 contracts, you'll be able to see that the summary is basically adding it up. So this is a report which is ready with us in the using the layout view. Let's go back to the layout view, and there are various other things that can be done over here. As I already showed you, the resizing of boxes can be done according to how you want to fit it. This margin over here, this gray margin, clearly gives you an idea that this is the end of that report. So anything that goes out of it, make sure that you adjust it inside. Okay, now we have the options of changing the theme. So if you want, you can change the theme. You can see the effects over here while you are hovering your mouse. You can change the colors the way you want. If you want, you can make changes to the font. We'll keep it Calibri. Again, the same details. We can add logo, we can change the title. I don't want to do that, so we'll keep it as it is. And we have the option to arrange, format. It's the same, very similar tabs that to form. And there's also page setup, wherein you can set the size for this page. You can adjust the margins if you want it wide, if you want it narrow. I think normal is fine. Portrait or landscape, portrait is fine. You can set the columns and any other page setup that you want to do. So this was the layout view. If you open the same table, same report in the design view, you can make similar changes over here. You can do the resizing, etc. as well over here. It is always recommended, or it is always easier to do it in the layout view. So you can do the formatting in the layout view, and then I think this is very good enough, and you can then send it to the printer. This gives you the print preview. You can see a print preview to this report that we have prepared successfully. Okay, so this was creation of reports in the layout view. In the last video, we're going to see how to create a report based on a query.